Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Ed. Today we're going to be talking once more about Camber Energy, going with the ticker CEI. Now in this video we're going to go towards updates onto the due diligence, technical analysis, and what I think about this one. So without further ado, let's jump right into this one. So CEI, we did talk about this one in the last video, is in the description below. But if you haven't heard about this one, the main thing is relating towards their carbon capture system and trying to go for zero or net carbon energy in the United States. Now, some of their companies that they do have, or one of the biggest ones, is Viking Energy, which in part also took a majority interest in Simpsons Maxwell Limited. If you want to know more about that, you'll have to watch my last video where I broke it through. But right now what we're getting is a little bit of a lower interest in CEI searches in the last 90 days. That has spiked up significantly, but currently we're getting only around half or 50% of the main searches we've received back on September 10th. And if we were to go ahead and take a look into a smaller kind of view, we're able to see that in the last, I would say, 7 days or so, in comparison, currently, there has been a bit of a spike in terms of attention, but a lot less than Friday, Thursday, or any given day of last week. It could be in part that the stock market has slipped up today and dropped almost at the lowest to 2%, and this company did as well struggle because of that. But it is quite interesting to see that Idaho and then Nebraska has the top two attention for the stock in general. Now for CEI. The company itself dropped higher than 10% today. Now, this would trigger something called a short sell rule or short sell restriction. It's mainly SSR, or at least that's the abbreviation for that. And the idea behind this is that short selling would be restricted only similar to an uptick rule, which means that short sellers would have a lot of restrictions. And if this is a short squeeze tending to happen, or basically it would open some gates for it for tomorrow until the end of business day tomorrow on the 21st of September, for buyers to have lesser restriction on going on and pushing the price on long side rather than short selling. Now, currently, the short flow is assumed to be around 24.56, even though that is not currently highly accurate and updated day per day. But before moving on, if you would like to see more contents like this one, make sure to click the subscribe button on the bottom right corner and leave notifications on. Also, don't forget to drop a like to this video as it helps my channel quite a lot. A lot of you amazing folks have been watching me, and I do appreciate it if you click that subscribe button and the like button. If you want to go one extra, you can join me on my Discord in the description below if you're interested in that. Now, in terms of SEC filings, now, on the SEC filings, we don't have anything new from the last one. The last one was in terms of this SEC filings on September 11th, 2021, and this is in relations towards the audit committee with the discussion with its legal advisors relating towards the sale of any commissioned stocks or share stocks. And this is in relations towards basically saying that there was some errors between 2016 August and April 2021 in the classification of the preferred stock, and they will be updating it soon and releasing the new current numbers, or the new correct numbers of the total number of shares, and in proportions anything that is calculated using the total number of shares. In terms of institutional buyers, Virtue Financials was the last institutional activity where they liquidated around 100% of their shares, and Bank of America liquidated around 84.62% of their entire shares. Now, in terms of buyer activity, there is nothing going on inside the float budgets by insiders. That is something significant to think about, as basically insiders have been quiet about this one. Now, in terms of short shares availability, currently we have around 1.7 million shares which is not being short sold. It's returned and not being borrowed. The current fee for borrowing this stock, the short borrow fee rate, is at 10.17%. So on any given day, you're being charged 10.17 divided by 365. So it is still quite of a smaller, or a very small, short borrow fee rate in general. In terms of the total short volumes, things have been looking somewhat around 50% of the total volume have gone towards the short side. Now, on other things, this is the website for Viking Energy Group. You notice that the press releases also hasn't been updated for September. It has been quiet. In terms of retail, there is a lot of attention for retail. You have other people here. I think Zach Morris is, I guess, known. There's around almost 500,000 followers, the master quote-unquote furrow, and you're able to see that they are trying to push it for $5 badly, but this stock has been really beaten up today, as you get to see. Now, moving on towards technical analysis. So in terms of technical analysis, a lot of this is going to be playing an effect in terms of the massive pullback you've received or seen, and what we're seeing here is that the moving averages are still bullish. An SMA is above 30 MA, but the 200 SMAs is above 200 or above the 50 SMA. Now, what we're talking about here in general is that it's somewhat mixed on the moving averages, but it's above the trading action zone between 144 and 98 cents. And that itself, if it does meet within there, it's most likely going to see positive reversals, and that's a bullish thing. Now, in terms of William percent R, this is currently going on from overbought to somewhere around neutral. Now, the trend is usually when that happens, it's showing you that there are still people that are panic selling in this and selling a little bit higher relative than the last day. Now, on another thing, the MACD is retracting back and so is momentum, suggesting that you could see a negative reversal sometime next week. Now, if the trend continues. Now, in terms of stochastic fast and stochastic slow, they're dipping a little bit downwards, indicating that you got to be very careful where the next support is because it can drop. In terms of the moving averages bands in general, you're able to see that they're still going upwards and pinpointing upwards, suggesting that this one is still on an uptrend. But on the Fibonacci retracements, we're able to see that the current support is at 138 and then 98 cents. Resistances 171, 204, and 250. But if we were to take a look into traditional supports, we're able to see that there is a significant support, a very strong one that is, at 154. Below there, it's 139. Below there, 133. Going downwards to 124. And then downwards to around 116, 108, going downwards to 101, and then downwards to 85 cents, and then 79 cents, going downwards to 71 cents, and then closer to 63 cents, and then under to 55 cents, 52, and under to 45 cents. In terms of resistances, we're able to see that there is a very strong resistance at 159, then 174, and then upwards to 188, 205, and then up to 223, and then 235. Comes to the question, Ed, what do you think about this one? Well, you got to be very careful because it does look like there is some retail quote-unquote furrows or whatever you want to call them that are actually pushing this one. And it's not really based on strong fundamental, but more of hype and trying to get people to buy on, going on from 30 cents to a target price of around $5. Now, we got to be very careful. It's currently curving downwards. And if you kind of understand any natural kind of tendencies, like you get to see here where it curves downwards every time, you're able to see that at least in the shorter term, there's a pullback. Now, is it a good investment in the longer term? It most likely, what we've seen in the history, that it has dropped significantly. Now, before reverse splits, it was around 2,875 per share. And back just in 2019 in July, 473.5. And early on in 2020, just right on before even the pandemic hit, it was around 385. So it's a risky investment. But if you're trying to flip this one, be very careful because you don't want to be the person who buys at the top and then it follows in and crashes. So that's been my opinion onto this one. What do you think about this ticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you're still here on this video, make sure to drop down below and join our Discord. We have a lot of different things going on, including, for instance, members that gives picks for free. It's not pump and dumps, we just things we think about, swings, etc. We also have really exciting bots. You can actually use those ones. For instance, we're just testing out this bot, for instance, that gives you Fibonacci resistance points, activities, etc. And we have a bunch of free things, totally free. We run on tips here, and you can ask me questions, suggest stocks, etc. It's a really nice community that has been growing up very fast at a very good rate, and it's totally free. If you would like to join that one, feel free to do so in the description below, and have a wonderful day.